my skin tints from least favorite to favorite. Starting off with my least favorite is gonna have to be the Saie Slip Tint. Now, I love pretty much every one of Saie's other products, so this actually surprised me. It literally slips off my face. I don't typically reach for this one. Next is the Fenty Ease Drop Blurring Skin Tint. Now, I don't know if this is supposed to be matte because of the blurring effect, but it just wasn't glowy enough for me. I didn't really like how my other makeup sits on top of it. I got shade 1 and 4. I did like this one a little bit better, but I still really wasn't my favorite, so these are definitely at the bottom. I feel like everybody actually loves this one, but it's the Erborian CC Cream. It's a little bit too sticky. I don't really like how my makeup sits on top of it. I don't hate it, maybe I just haven't worn it enough, but it's definitely not one that I normally will grab for. I also have this ColourPop Skin Tint. I actually really liked this one for a while. I was using it for a very long time. I just never repurchased it. I tried other things. I think I like used the majority of it, but I don't hate it. It's just not my top anymore. The Kosas Dream Beam, one of them is the Sunlit, so this is a little more tinted. This has a little bit of a tint, but not as much as this one. These were my top favorites back in like summer 2023. Now I just don't love how it sits on top of my skincare. It kind of, again, it's not matte, but it's also not glowy, if that makes sense. Like, it looks kind of glowy, but not like hydrating. I like this just as a sunscreen, but definitely not as a skin tint. This Glossier skin tint used to be my favorite for a very long time. I would typically mix it with the Drunk Elephant bronzing drops. It is a little bit watery, so I feel like it's more sheer, but this one has been in my top favorites for the longest time. I use shade G11. I repurchased it a couple years ago, and I like to blend it in with my hands. I really like this one. Also have the Charlotte Tilbury Sheer Glow Tint. I feel like this is very comparable to the Flawless filter, that was called. This is just kind of like the stick version. I don't feel like either of them really give a tint. I feel like it's more of a glow. I do really like this one, but if I have more dry skin, this one doesn't work as well as some of the other skin tints, but I love the glow and it's definitely a favorite. The one sitting at the top for me right now is the Hourglass Skin Tint Veil. This is my absolute favorite. It's been my top favorite for probably over a year now. It is a lot thicker than some of the other ones. I wouldn't say it's more coverage, but it's also not sheer. It definitely sits well on top of any skincare that I do, and my makeup on top of it sits really well. So I'm obsessed with this stuff. The only note I will have is, so I got shade 3, which I think is like a fair neutral. There wasn't a better shade match that I could find, so I typically just use like a bronzing drop, so that would be the only thing. But other than that, this has been my top favorite, and I think it's probably gonna stay at the top. I do have this Ciel, however you say it, tinted serum with an SPF of